Hey writers, I'm going to show you a bit of my notebook and then you may see some similarities in yours with what I'm talking about. So I've been noticing in my notebook as I'm working that I kind of just have stuff all over the place. I have all these lists all over. I have like just random pieces, random doodles, random paragraphs, random drawings, a lot of random. Although I've had a reason for adding it all, I think now that my ideas are coming together, I really need to focus on the organization of this writing piece. So that's something that we're going to do today. So what I'd like to draw your attention to is the organization of our writing pieces. So today I want to teach you that you can use a plan to both draft and revise parts or all of your writing. So what do I mean by that? We all have, like I said, random pieces of our writing set up and kind of all over the place. So I want to create a plan. So we're going to be looking for these following things. So question 1 says, how is your information organized? Is it organized? Do you have subtopics to support your topics? Can you include a pro and con section or maybe a text feature? Do you need a part that is organized? Maybe a part that needs to be chronologically, maybe a part that needs to be descriptive. So we're going to kind of talk about that today, and I'm going to show you a little bit about, in my writing, what I plan to do. So over here you can see we can have chapters, we could have subtopics. Those subtopics could have different structures. We can organize some subtopics with narratives that teach information. So I'm gonna show you what I'm talking about with some of my writing. So I'm gonna open this back up. Today we're working from a scrap piece of paper because we need to be able to flip through our notebook kind of as we're talking and as we're working today. So the first thing I notice is I had a table of contents, and I'm not necessarily sure this is the true order that I want it to be in. This was just my first brainstorm. So I'm thinking the first thing I want to do is I still want to start with the basics, so I'm going to write a 1 here. After that, I kind of want to move into the types of music or the styles of music. So I'm going to cross these old numbers out. So I'm going to circle a number 2. The next thing I wanted to write about was famous musicians. And then after that, I'm going to talk about the times that I play piano. So I'm kind of going to teach you a bunch about playing piano, and then I'm going to talk about me playing piano. So let me jump into my parts of playing piano. So I know I've kind of started elaborating it here, but let me organize my information. So I know I'm going to write plan up at the top here, and you'll be able to do the same. So what I'm going to do is start with a heading, and that's going to be parts of playing a piano. And really all I'm talking about here are the basic pieces of a piano that you need to know. So I know I'm going to have, so I'm going to label this as my heading. And underneath this heading, I really want to have a descriptive paragraph, and I really want to have a diagram of a piano and a diagram of note names. I don't really want any subheadings here because this is kind of like an introduction to me. But after that, I did mention that I want to move into, I'm going to need a new heading because I'm going to move into types of music. Types of music. And I believe in my brainstorm, I had listed 4 different types of music that I could write about. So let me look back into my notebook. Yes, I had listed Baroque, Romantic, Impressionist. Oh, I had listed 5, so I think I'm just going to choose 3 of them. I'm going to choose these first 3, Baroque, Romantic, and Impressionist. So this is going to be my first heading, and I'm going to need an introduction to that section. And then I'm going to need 3 subheadings with paragraphs. So that's going to be Baroque, Romantic, Impressionist. And I think what would be really cool is to have like a chart, because I'm going to be describing all this information, but I could add a chart in here where like the 3 types of music I'm talking about are going to be in there, and I can list like a couple of facts about each one. So I'll have my paragraph, but I'll also be able to organize my information into a chart here. I'm going to move on to one more section, and then I'm going to let you write a little bit, but my next heading is going to be composers. I'm going to have an introduction. And then I think I'm just going to stick with 2 composers because I had 3 sections up here. So those 2, back from my notes, I had, so 2 subheadings. So I'm going to have Bach, nope, I'm sorry, Beethoven, because that was my research, and I'm going to have Mozart. And I could have a Venn diagram in here. So I could do a Venn diagram where I have Beethoven on one side, and I could have Mozart on another. I think that would be pretty cool. And I can talk about some things that are special to Beethoven, some things that are special to Mozart, and then things that are the same between the 2 of them. I could maybe even tell a story. So for each section, I could be giving information, but I could also tell a story from their life. So I could have info and story. So now, as I kind of have all these pieces that I'm putting together, I know the plan. So when I go to elaborate, I'm going to know exactly how I want it laid out, because pretty soon we're going to move away from these notebooks and really glue the pieces of these writing pieces together. So what you're going to do today is create a plan. So just like you saw me grab scrap paper and create a plan, you're going to do the same. And if you need to watch this video a second or a third time, please feel free to do that. Watch how I plan my writing out. You want to focus on the organization today. What are your headings? What are your subheadings? And what are some of your text features that you can add in? And as you do that, focus on the structure, the parts of your article. So just like I split it up, the kinds, parts, times, famous examples, things like that. So your job today is going to be to create a plan. So I'm going to be collecting those plans today on scrap paper. And if you finish that, you'll be able to continue elaborating and writing. Happy writing, guys.